She said that really.
How about now? How about now? How about now?
Lopez.
Lopez o Segura. You are Edgar Lopez o Segura.
Yes.
You were charged with driving while intoxicated. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On September 1st, 2024, law enforcement officers observed the defendant's vehicle running a red light with no lights on at the 7100 block of Airline Drive, which is a public road in Harris County, Texas. A traffic stop was initiated. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant driver. The law enforcement officer observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, glossy red eyes, and disorientation. The defendant admitted to consuming 8 to 9 Corona 7-ounce beer bottles. Standard field sobriety tests were administered, in which the officer observed 6 out of 6 clues for the horizontal gaze test. 3 out of 8 clues for walking turn, and 1 out of 4 for one leg stand. The defendant was read his DIC and he consented to a breath test. The results were a 0.102 and 0.097. An inventory conducted on the defendant. The law enforcement officer observed 2 open containers on the driver's floorboard. The defendant was identified with his Honduras passport.
So he had alcohol in the car while he's driving?
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and see if this one works any better. I don't know what the heck's going on with the microphone, but we will definitely figure it out. Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. Try to fix up there where you can see Jay's smiling face there. There you go, Jay. Now you're on top. Judge Fleischer did an interesting interview with Vicky. I liked it. Vicky McCallum. I'll put the link in the description for the interview, but it was a neat one today. I was excited for it. I think she asked some good questions. I think she almost got me excited with them talking about politics. I thought Broken Baker was gonna get something started there, but they tamed it down pretty quick. But it was exciting. I was hoping to hear how that one went. I think it worked out good. I think Steve Nash was good to go in there, and I think it worked out well. Got everybody in here. Thank you so much for coming in, Stephanie Marlowe. I don't know if I've seen that name before, so welcome to the show. We got Nan, we got Linus, Nancy. Talked with Nancy some today in Judge Fleischer's court. I saw that name there. We got Steve. Thank you, Steve, for coming in. We got Discord link put at the top. According to Jay, it is the correct Discord link. If it's not, just be brutally mean to her. She loves it, and I don't know that we're ever going to figure out Discord links, so we're just going to keep trying, keep doing what we can with it. But this is a neat Judge Fleischer clip. Some of y'all saw it this morning. Some of y'all hadn't. It's got a interesting couple of hearings on there. I think they were referring to it as dancing earlier, so I don't know how that works out. But let's jump into this, and I'll get some more videos lined up.
You know, Mr. Lopez Segura, I would hope that you understand that you should not have alcohol in the car while you're driving. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Sin permiso.
without permission.
What happens if you go to jail?
¿Qué le pasa si usted va a la cárcel?
No sé.
I don't know.
You're not in this country with permission.
No está en el país con permiso.
If you go to jail, immigration, they sweep the jail
Hace un
on a
chequeo.
daily basis. If they find you in there, they will put an immigration detainer on you. You will be stuck in jail until this case is over with, and then you'll be shipped off to immigration. And I'm going to tell you that anytime you have alcohol in the car while you're driving, it's a minimum of 5 days in jail to any punishment that you do. You are now alleged to have alcohol in the car. So it's a minimum of 5 days in jail to anything that you do in this case. I guarantee you do 5 days, you will get an immigration detainer. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive any motor vehicle whatsoever for any reason. You will be signing a promise with me today, Mr. Lopez. If I find that you drive and I don't care what your excuse is,
Yes, sir.
I will put you in jail for a very long time. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you consume alcohol, likewise, you will go to jail. We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Does he have any prior DWIs by chance? No? I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Victoria where you will sign a reset. We're going to give you time to go hire a lawyer. After that, you will eventually meet with pretrial for your bond conditions. Look at me. No tomas y no manejes o te pongo en la cárcel inmediatamente. ¿Entiendes, Méndez? Come on.
All right, then the next Spanish speaker is page 16, Pacheco. And the co-defendant is Vasquez on page 21.
Oh, thank you so much. I missed the page, Victoria.
Page 16 and 21.
Well, here's one we haven't seen in a while.
Another review.
Good morning.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Both of you are charged with public lewdness. This is a Class A misdemeanor. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
September 1st, 2024, officers were dispatched to 4220 Bissonnet regarding a criminal trespass incident. Police dispatch advised that the homeowner arrived at his residence and discovered a red Toyota Corolla parked on his driveway with 2 occupants inside the vehicle. The homeowner told the occupants to leave and they did not comply. The officer arrived at the location and discovered the red Toyota was parked on the resident's driveway. The vehicle engine was off and the vehicle's front right passenger window was rolled down. The officer approached the vehicle and observed a female, the co-defendant, laying on the front passenger seat and a male, the other defendant, laying on top of her. The front passenger seat was reclined all the way back. The co-defendant's lower body was nude with her vagina exposed. The other defendant's lower body was nude as well, with his erected penis exposed and touching the co-defendant near her vagina. Officers ordered both individuals to stop their actions and exit the vehicle. The individuals did not comply and they continued with their actions. Both defendants were detained.
Really?
Both defendants were
Los
detained.
acusados fueron
Both
detenidos.
individuals were
Los dos
intoxicated
individuos estaban
with slurred
intoxicados,
speech
con,
and
estaban
red glossy
balbuceando y los ojos
eyes.
rojos.
Both individuals could not keep their
Dos individuos
balance
no podían mantener su balance
and needed
y
assistance
necesitaban
walking.
asistencia caminando.
Both defendants were secured in the back
Los
seats
acusados estaban asegurados
of
en
the
los
the
asientos
police
detrás del
vehicles.
vehículo de la
The
patrulla.
homeowner said he
El
arrived
propietario dice de que
at
llegó
home at
a casa
approximately
aproximadamente a
1:15
la 1:15
a.m.
de la mañana
and discovered the red
y
Toyota
descubrió el
parked on his
Toyota rojo
driveway.
estacionado en
The homeowner said that he
entrada.
did not
El
know the
propietario dice que no
individuals
conocía a los
and he
individuos
saw a
y
male and a
vio a
female
un hombre y
kissing
una mujer
while
besándose
sitting on the
mientras estaban
front
sentados
right passenger
en
seat.
el lado del pasajero derecho de frente.
I am going to find that there's
Voy a
probable
declarar
cause to
que
go
hay
forward
causa
in both
probable
of your
para continuar.
cases, and I would hope that you would recognize that this is something that's supposed to be a private event between both of you and not to display it to the entire world.
A todo el mundo.
I am now making it a condition on both of you guys not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test each of you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, I'm going to put you in jail or illegal drugs. Likewise, I'm ordering you not to have sex in public. If you're going to have any kind of relations, do it indoors.
Dentro.
Do you understand?
Sí, sí,
Yes.
sí, disculpe.
Tell me,
Sorry.
are both of you United States citizens?
¿Ciudadanos estadounidenses?
Perdón.
¿Es ciudadano estadounidense, sí o no?
No, no, eso no,
No.
no es grande.
Mr. Vasquez, are you here with or without permission in this country?
Without permission.
Ms. Pacheco, are you here with or without permission?
Without permission.
Do you know what happens if you go to jail?
¿Saben qué es lo que les pasa? Puede pasar si van a la cárcel.
Perdón, sí, disculpe. Sí.
Do you know what happens if you go to jail?
Si va a la cárcel.
No, 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 no sabe.
No, I don't know.
Think,
Sí,
piense,
No sé.
¿qué pasa si te ponen en la cárcel?
disculpe, señor juez, la verdad que cometimos una disculpe.
I'm trying to give you a warning,
Estoy tratando
and I
de
want you to think
advertencia
about it.
que piensen
If you go to
que
jail,
Es un
van a la
castigo.
cárcel, es
un castigo.
a punishment.
no. If you go to jail,
Si usted va a la cárcel,
immigration will find you.
migración lo encontrará.
They will put a detainer on each of you.
Cada
You will be stuck in jail for the next 6 to 9 months,
6 a 9
waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do to you. You cannot bond out,
salir
and you will be stuck there for about the next 9 months.
9 meses.
If you do not want this to happen, do not violate the conditions I've set forth now. This is the only warning you will get from me. I'm not going to do it again. If you're incapable of having relations indoors, then you'll be doing it in the jail.
Lo harán en la cárcel.
Do each of you understand?
Cada uno de ustedes entiende?
Sí, entendemos.
Yes, we understand.
Tom, so you're representing only this gentleman? Okay. Ms. Pacheco,
Señora Pacheco,
tell me about yourself. Do you work?
acerca de sí misma, ¿trabaja? ¿Trabaja?
Sí,
Yes.
What do you do, ma'am?
¿Qué tipo de trabajo es?
remodelación.
Remodeling.
Do you have children?
¿Tiene hijos?
Un
One.
Where is this child?
Remodeling.
Okay. What kind of income do you earn?
Eso, ¿qué cantidad de ingresos recibe?
500.
500.
How much a month?
¿Cuánto el mes?
2000.
2000.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
No.
Let's do this. I want you to fill out an application for me, and I'll determine whether you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer or not. As it stands now, each of you do not violate these conditions.
Ustedes no violan esa
I will put you in jail. Do you get no more warning? I told them no more alcohol, no more dope, because they're intoxicated. Not only that,
Solamente
who's driving?
quien condució
It's a red
es
truck. Is that your truck?
Sí, está rojo. ¿Es suyo? el
It's a
carro?
It's a
Or a
Corolla.
Corolla? No driving. You do not have a Texas driver license. I am now making that a condition as well.
Eso no.
Mr. Vasquez, if I find that you drive, likewise, you will go to jail. I don't care what your excuse is. Guys, I will have you sign a reset with Victoria. Both of you will also, Mr. Vasquez, I'm gonna have you come up and sign a promise with me that you're not to drive. After that, both of you will meet with pretrial, sign your bond conditions. And after that, Mr. Vasquez will release you to your lawyer. Ms. Pacheco, we will have you take a seat in the jury box while we review your application. Please, guys.
All right, Linus, you got me on that one. Whenever I help moderate over there, I normally have the volume all the way down and I'm just looking at the chat, but I missed that one completely. And Linus sent me a list of some interesting ones that would be worth playing today. So I'm blaming that one completely on Linus. The next one will get blamed on, let me go down the list. Is Roland G here? I'll blame her. If not, Roland G, we'll blame, we'll go to Jay. She's always a good, fair one to blame. But yeah, I wonder about these prosecutors. I wonder how uncomfortable they are having to read some of these reports. Evan Wolo, WOLO, welcome to the club. You said you've only been watching for a few weeks. Absolutely. Today, Vicky McCallum did a great interview with him. A few other channels have done great interviews with him as well. We've done an interview with him. And so it's neat to get to see some, behind the scenes to see that these judges are real people. We put them on impossible pedestals. And so he gets to answer some of these. And like this right here, I don't know how you just don't bust out laughing with him. Just goofballs. From what I picked up on the story, they just pulled into someone's driveway and I guess started dancing. I'm not sure what the words I'm supposed to say is Roland G's she's my normal vocal boss, so she's the one to tell me if I say the wrong words. All right, we're gonna roll on with this one. I think some of y'all have seen this one coming up, but it's interesting just to see how far the judge lets this guy go. So let's see where we go.
Thank you.
Vasquez will go there first for the no driving application, and then Pacheco.
Man, there must have been some stank in that car. God.
At least the window was open.
Reminds me of that one song, Steamy Windows. Was it, what's her name? Who sang that? Steamy Windows. You know what I'm talking about? Come on. Tina Turner. That's it. Come, stop. Don't even go there. What a shame. Good morning, Mr. Brooker. Or good afternoon, I guess.
How are you, Judge?
What's going on with you?
Doing well, just on my way from Brazoria County. So my apologies about the Zoom. I normally like to be there.
That's why we have it.
Yes, sir. I have our friend who's on the docket today in custody, Mr. Frasier, Daniel Frasier.
Okay. What are we doing with Mr. Frasier?
Well, the state made another offer per the chief of 30 days Harris County Jail to resolve these. Which,
yeah, I want him to go into a facility. I mean, have we done, when did we did a TRAS, no?
we did. This was several iterations ago, Judge. I think maybe 3 or so settings ago when he was in custody.
Okay.
But then he ultimately bonded out and got us back here. You sent him for a drug test, the last setting, and that's why we got back here.
Right, okay. Give me a second.
Yes, sir.
For Rodriguez, we sent him over for a drug test. He failed to give a sample.
Okay, so issue a warrant.
He's still over there.
Oh, well, then we can hold until he gives it.
I'll let him know.
I have to do this plea, Mr. Brooker. Just bear with me 1 second. We're almost done. And then,
I got it.
hey, Shatoria,
You can figure out something a little bit.
Frazier?
It was SAT. That was her recommendation.
Okay.
We didn't want to go, but something was-
Okay. SATIP was a recommendation, Mr. Brooker. Hey, get ready for
Understood.
trial, Pavel.
I'm aware.
You know, Mr. Anthony, I'm going to tell you that it doesn't make me happy doing this. But you got to understand that we don't want people like you here. You know, we like our house to be safe. We like people to feel safe in the city. And with you, it's murder case after aggravated assault, after aggravated assault, after assault. This was an assault of a family member, right? Can you imagine what your family members must feel around you? They probably walk on eggshells because they're just damn near terrified to be next to you. It's not fun to live a life when you're terrified of having someone in your house like that. It really sucks. And we don't want people like that. We have one place for people like that, and it's in Huntsville. And perhaps that's what you need to get the point and get the message across, that we don't want this type of violence around. You know, you have the ability to take care of this yourself. When you're out in the free world, if you really wanted to do something, that you could pick up a damn phone book or look online and figure out how to deal with these anger issues. What is it? What are you afraid of that makes you so angry? Did you have PTSD? Is it a closet homophobe? What is it that makes you so damn angry that it makes you tear people apart? Is it dope? Figure it out before it's too late and you end up in prison with a 50-year sentence. Because in my opinion, with your kind of history, the only thing that will take is a 50-year sentence, because that's how some people only respond. Get a clue. And quite frankly, I don't even want to take this. I think that you need an entire year in custody. But because of Greg, that's the only reason I'm taking this now. But, and I'm just, if they didn't do anything to, you know, punish you upstairs, just, you're now charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. The agreement is 120 days in jail. Does he have 23 days credit, or what does he have? 23 days of credit. You need to understand that this comes in with an affirmative finding of family violence, meaning that if you pick up another assault like this, and all it requires is for you to grab someone's arm and just gently squeeze to where it hurts, even of the slightest, you'll be facing a third-degree felony. Have you been to the penitentiary before? You can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this. With this affirmative finding, you pick up a gun. I mean, because of what you're on now.
Assume that's part of his felony probation as well, Your Honor.
Right. You pick up a weapon, holy moly. You know, I'm gonna, just one more thing that I'm gonna preach. You're charged with a second-degree felony. So when people get revoked on second-degree felonies, you look, it just starts at double digits. It starts usually around 12 to 15 to 17 years in prison is what you're looking at once you get revoked. And I would hope that if you pick up another case, that's what happens, that they don't just keep cutting you loose, because it's not fair to the citizens of Harris County. If I see you in here on another case, I will immediately set your case for trial. I'm not going to take anything. Do you understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. How do you plead to this offense, sir?
Okay. How do you feel, guilty or not guilty?
Guess guilty.
I'm sorry? Are you guilty of this offense? I will find you guilty, sentence you to 120 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 23 days that you've done. There is an affirmative finding of family violence. So if you pick up another one of these cases, it's a third-degree felony and another revocation of your alleged probation. Good luck to you, sir.
This is Mr. Bell, so you want to just tell them about
Okay.
Uvalde.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Della.
Buenos días. Good morning.
Come up. So I need your lawyer to be here. I can't do anything without your lawyer. So you need to reach out to him and let him know that I'm going to have a show cause hearing on Monday, that if he doesn't show up, as to why I shouldn't hold him in contempt. Okay? All right. We'll have you sign a reset and we'll see you Monday. And then I'm going to send him an email too, because just.
I sent him yesterday 2 emails.
Okay, so can you do that? Sorry, can you, I guess, forward me the email so I know what it is, and then I'll.
Frazier, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Frazier. Here we are, back yet again.
Sir.
Your evaluation says that the proper place is SATF, which is a treatment facility. I think that that is the proper course.
Oh,
Okay, I know you say no, but that's what.
It's not about, I'm not, God, man.
Sir, no outburst, just.
Stephen, it's okay. You know, I mean, really, I get your frustration, but
I understand, but the last time that we were here in court, it's not that I didn't go to take the UA. I couldn't submit when I went there. I came back to the court. The courts were closed. I came to talk to you. As soon as we went out this door, Mr. Brooks and I spoke to him. I told him, I need to turn back around and talk to the judge. I said, I'm not going to be able to pass one right now. He said he'll talk to you and he was going to come. And I don't know what happened with that conversation. He never got back with me. I still went down there to submit a UA. I was not able to submit one. I came back to the courts. When I came back to the courts, the courtroom was locked. I communicated that with Mr. Brooks. I'm not sure what the issue is, what the problem is with him and his communication, but it sucks.
that's baloney. And
What
I'm
do you
going to
mean?
call you on your baloney right now. I know him. He's always been above reproach. It's not him, it's you.
No, I communicated
Him under
that.
the bus.
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I
It is, you're
communicated.
disingenuous and it's just not true.
No, I did communicate with him. I promise. Why would I lie about that? I have no reason to lie. The same way that I told you the truth about everything, I have not lied about
I have been dancing
for
since
2 years, exactly.
3 years.
This case has been going on for 2 years. It's not a drug problem. It's not a drug issue. It's not at all whatsoever. And I swear to you on that, it is not. I can look you dead in the eye and tell you
So what is it, Mr. Frazier?
There's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong. I'm just trying to continue my life. I'm just trying to do what that's it. Honestly, that's really it. I'm just trying to just get this done with and continue my life. There's not a drug issue. That is the honest truth. And I don't know what else to say or how to communicate that to make you believe me. There is not a drug issue.
Okay.
I just want this case to be over with so I can continue with my life. I feel like it's been holding me back. I just want my life back. Just want my life back. I want it the way it was. I want my life back, but this is holding me back so much.
There's only one way that's going to happen.
It's not a drug issue, man. Please listen to me. It's not drugs. Please just listen to me. It's not drugs.
Mr. Frasier.
I don't have a drug issue. The last time we were here in court, they were the plea bargain that was on the table was to time served. What is wrong with that? What is so wrong with that?
History is any indication.
I have never, ever failed a drug test ever since I've been in your courtroom.
You just don't go.
No, I've never failed one.
Just don't go.
That was the one and only time. That is the one and only time. Look it up.
Lower your voice.
Stephen.
No, Your Honor, I understand, but.
Sorry.
Lower his voice.
It's okay. I get it. Emotions run high. But I'm going to tell you this, that you're probably one of the best actors
I'm not
to
acting.
this court ever. You put on such a show.
I'm going to take it to trial.
Okay.
I'm not, I don't.
For once, we're in agreement. Because I know that you don't want to go to the inpatient facility. So my recourse is to set you for trial.
What was wrong with the plea? What's the plea
I'm
bargain?
not taking it. I'm not going to
How
take
can
your
you
just
just
little
not
plea
take
of
it?
guilty for you to get out. Because I know you get out, you're going to pick up another case.
No, I'm not.
And we're going to. Really?
I didn't pick up another case now.
Let's go through this now.
Okay, so that was then, this is now. When I did have an issue, but I don't have an issue now. And what I'm trying to do is just continue my life and you're holding me back.
Ready? Can I go through this?
Go ahead.
Okay. So 6/3/24, criminal mischief. 12/29/23, assault bodily injury. Right before that in November, assault evading arrest, terroristic threat, assault bodily injury. And on the terroristic threat, assault bodily injury, and on the VPO that you pick up right before that, I had to set the bonds at $30,004 because of all the times you took off and that you refused to take a drug test.
I never, what drug
Terroristic
test?
threat.
Time out. What drug test? There's never, no, that's a lie. That's 100% lie. What drug test? Go ahead. Call those up because I don't remember any of those.
Every case that you've had here.
There was not, nope, that's a lie.
Let me finish or no?
Go ahead.
Every case since the first couple, you know what it was? It was with your first DWI that you came in here. That's when I started drug testing you. And since that point, it's literally gone sideways.
Never failed one.
After that, all you did was keep picking up cases, keep picking up cases, and you would never appear in court. So regardless, look, I'm not going to get into this pissing match with you. What's going to happen now?
Because obviously you're not in agreement and you just obviously want to have control. That's all it is. You want your way.
I'm going to have you go to the SATF program.
I'm not going.
Okay. I'm going to set your case for trial.
Thank you.
And if you're found guilty, then we do it as part of your probation because I will. Is he looking at a year? Is he looking at, yeah, you're looking at a year. So what I'm going to do is I will sentence you to 365 days in jail. I will probate that for 2 years. And then I'm going to, as a condition of your probation, put you into the SATF program.
Why?
Because that's what I think you need.
What? So then 3 years later, you just take 3 years of my life?
Clinicians that assessed you.
You're just being, no, because the first time they did not. It was not. They went with, they went against what was actually on there because they knew that that's what the judge wanted.
He's upset because, reality's a kick in the ding ding. I get it.
I'm not upset. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. This is going on way too long. I just want I just want to get back to my life. That's it. I just want to get back to my life. That's it. I just want to get back to my life. Like, I don't know how hard that is to understand.
So, Mr. Brooker, I think that we just need to go ahead and probably set it and stop beating around the bush.
What is the offer that's on the table right now?
I'm not taking.
Well, I'm just asking, what is it? Okay, so what is it that you want? In all honesty, like, what all do you want?
I want you to go to the SATF program.
And what is that?
It's a substance abuse treatment facility.
And I have to wait a month just to go there?
The wait list right now is 3 weeks, but I can get him expedited.
We can expedite you in there as quick as possible.
What's expedited? Can I go tomorrow?
I don't know, Mr. Brooke. I mean, if I can get you there tomorrow, I will. I don't want to hold you just to hold
I
you.
want this over with. Just want this done with. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this.
I want you to work the program honestly, though. I want you to do it well.
Just want this done with already. Like, I'm tired of this shit.
You need to understand that if you do well, the program will only be 6 months. If you don't respond
I don't
well,
want
it's
to go
going to
to
be
a
longer.
program. I don't need a program. I'm not on drugs.
How soon can you expedite?
I can give it a week.
You know what? And to update everybody and the entire world, you've sold me this story before, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I've never
8,
told
9
you this since the last.
months later.
I've never picked up a case after I told you this.
I'm not playing this game with you again.
I'm not asking for any games. I'm not playing any games.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Sorry.
Stop.
Okay, I'm setting your case for trial today.
Can I do the?
Stop.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Let me talk to him real quick.
Okay.
Is discovery complete?
On the ABI, yes. On the mischief, I'm missing surveillance. I'll subpoena it, but we can
Can you
set it.
please get on?
The offer was originally, it was
I'm not taking, no.
13-month deferred with TRAS and RUAs and no drugs. That was the offer before the 30 days. So that's still on the portal. You were asking
And
about
Chief,
that.
what case would you go forward on?
At this time, it would be the ABI, unless I get discovery, the surveillance on like mischief at that point, if it's made available in time.
Who's the mischief against them?
It's a Walmart. It's Walmart.
Oh, that's right. He goes in there and
He breaks
breaks a
laptop.
computer.
Yeah, because he was using it for his personal stuff and got mad. That's the allegations.
So I don't know, Mr. Brooker, if you want to reach out to Mr. Frasier now and look, they've said they're offering you a 13-month, you say deferred?
Deferred, yes, sir. TRAS, RUAs, no drugs or
Well,
alcohol.
the TRAS is already done.
Well, it's TRAS and conditions. So the conditions
So-
that what it suggested was SATF, so that would be
So
yeah.
So remember your composure.
this is the offer. The offer is a 13-month deferred, which is a type of probation that if you complete successfully, you don't end up with a conviction. That is on the assault. They will dismiss the criminal mischief. As part of the probation, though, you will be doing the substance abuse treatment facility. That's what we're asking you to do.
Can
And
I
if you
do
want to
some?
take that, you can. You don't have to, but if you don't, I'm going to set your case for trial. We will go on one or both of the trials, and on one of them, whichever one you're found guilty, if you're found guilty, you will go to the SATF program.
Is there any way that I can take substance abuse classes while on probation and do that, like an outpatient while on probation instead of going to SATF and then do?
No.
I don't understand why
I
not.
know you want to get out, but if I let you out and try to do the substance abuse thing outside, you're not going to do it.
Okay, if I'm court mandated, yes, I will.
No.
How do you? I did everything else.
Because you take off on me now when I let you out now.
I didn't take off. I
Yes,
did
you
what I
did.
had to do. I went down there.
I'm
I
not
didn't
going to
take off.
pissing match with you again.
I did not take off though.
You either take it.
I did not
That you-
take off. I showed up to court exactly on the 29th, exactly like I did, like was requested. I showed up.
Serenity now.
What?
Mr. Frasier,
Showed up.
you know what the deal is. They've offered you the deferred. If you want to take it, you can do it, and we can try to expedite you into the SATF program. If you don't want to do it, we'll just set your case for trial, and we'll do it the long way. So,
When would trial be?
I don't know, 30 days at least. because he's got to subpoena witnesses. I have to give him time to subpoena witnesses. So at the fastest I could get you in for trial is 30 days.
This is
But I'm telling you,
ridiculous.
this, I'm going to go to trial on the assault. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, I know
If
for
you're
a
found
fact I
guilty on
never
the assault,
assaulted
if you're found
anybody.
not guilty on the
I know
assault,
for 100%
I'm gonna
fact.
go, we're going right then and there, right after, we're going to right trial on the criminal mischief.
That's fine.
One right
I
after
know
the
I
other.
didn't assault anybody.
Okay. Well, then I can't take anything from you then if you're telling me you're not guilty.
And how long will it be until I can go into the status program?
Well,
It'll be a week if I can expedite it.
a week.
Just today's Friday, so.
And I'll order them to expedite it so that we can get you in a week. And then when you're in the program though, like I told you, if you're acting like this to me, like you are to them, what do you think is going to happen?
So what is it? What type of facility? Is it like in jail or?
It's a treatment facility where you're going to meet with people on a regular basis
I'm
to
saying
talk
it's still
about your
jail?
issues.
Is it a program? Is it a facility or is it jail?
You're housed in a different facility, okay? Is it in Atascocita? Where is it? So you're housed not in the jail here in downtown. They take you to a different facility, but you're not just free to leave. It's a different facility where it's rehab essentially, right? You're taken to a different facility. You meet with people on a regular basis to talk about substance abuse issues. They will routinely drug test you. And depending on how well you respond, it could be 6 months, it could be 9 months. If you're butting heads with me like you are now, it's going to be longer. It'll be a year and a half. Take your time. I don't
No,
want
it's
you to make
fine.
a
I'll take
decision.
it.
I want you to think about it though.
It's fine. I'll take it because the longer I have to take, the longer I have to stay here. I don't want to be here.
Okay? You're ready to do it? Then I'm ready to do it with you.
It's fine.
And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to go visit you in Atascocita. I will personally go there to check on you to see how you're doing. Because we can do that. And if you're not doing well, they're going to end up filing a motion to revoke your probation, and we're going to do it all over again. So I want you to take, and I want you to do it well. Okay, if you want to write it up, we can do it. Are you sure? Or do you want some time to think about it?
I'm thinking let's get the word from defense before I write it up. Yeah,
This
Let
is
me put him
fine.
back there so he can talk. Mr. Berger can call and
Yeah,
talk to him real
absolutely.
quick.
For sure.
before he makes any final decisions on that.
3189, right?
Yeah, no, is it 89 or 99?
999. Okay, I'm gonna chat you the phone number, Mr. Brooker.
Thank you, sir.
For sure.
All right, I'm back. So here's an inside scoop. I have to click on each one of these comments to make it onto the screen. I'm sure y'all learned that through Biggin and Kathy and all the other ones, but I'm in the process of learning it. So as I learn it, I'm going to share it with you guys. So I have to look at the comments and see which ones make it to the screen. I normally allow a lot more comments to be made than make it to the screen if it's obvious. You know, if it's all in good fun, you know, we let it go. But if it don't need to make it to the screen, it ain't gonna make it to the screen. So then there's this guy here, this Michael B. I can't pronounce his last name, but anyway, so he's got this inside scoop, and he's talking about this stuff here, and I was like, well, what does this guy know? And then I remembered, and so I was like, yeah, let's throw that one up there. I know in Florida, if they're waiting on a program, you know, you could be committed to a program and sit in jail for 6 months to a year just waiting on a bed there. So jumping into a program is not a get out of jail free card. And some of these programs are, you know, twice as long as your sentence would be. And you know, if you know you're not going to succeed at the sentence, you might as well not even jump in that. So yesterday we had a horrible event happen in Georgia for our country. Kid went to school. And the best I can tell on the news, 2 teachers and 2 students lost their lives. This morning, the kid showed up in court, and also his dad showed up in court. His dad Uh-oh. That makes me nervous. All right, Nan, what makes you nervous? All right. No, all right, Nan, you got me nervous there, wondering about that. But anyways, this guy goes to school and ends up hurting people and ends up in court, and his dad ends up in court right behind him. So we, you get to see in this country that they're starting to take some of that serious, and you're starting to see the parents get involved. We just saw a couple of months ago, two parents end up getting sentenced for what their kid did and for what they did. Any of us that are trying to think, what's the word am I supposed to use, Roland G? Okay, any of us that are firearms owners needs to understand that we have responsibilities, that come along with that freedom. No freedom is free. And so if you have a firearm in your home, you need to understand who else is living in your home. If you got a kid living in your home that has trouble, you need to understand that. General safety is general, but you need to take extra steps. If you got a kid that's showing any sign of trouble, you need to, if you got any sort of troubles with a kid or something, you need to know about your kids. And most of these kids, okay, Lena says it's pew-pews. I kind of feel silly using that word, Linus. I just got to be honest with you. It feels silly. Yep, and you got me to say it too. All right, well, we're going to throw up the court, and we'll see where that goes.
We have 3 files to address this morning regarding Elizabeth May Condo.
All right,
Try
good
that
morning,
one.
sir. Are you Mr. Colt Gray?
Sir.
My name's Curry Mingledorf. I'm assigned to preside over this morning's proceedings. Mr. Gray, I do need to inquire as to whether you're able to read and write the English language.
Yes, sir.
All right. I also want to inform you, I want to ask you, do you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney in these proceedings?
Yes, sir.
And you are, in fact, represented today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Zane Harmon, you're here on behalf of this defendant, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you understand that you have the right to be continuously represented throughout this proceeding, and if you cannot afford to hire counsel, then this court is obligated under the Constitution to provide counsel for you without cost to you. All right. I am going to inform you of a few other matters, and I'm not going to ask you anything, just inform you. So one is, I want to make sure that you are aware that you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything at all. And it's important to understand that because anything you might say could be used against you at further proceedings associated with your case. I want to inform you of the charges that you currently face. In essence, you are charged with 4 counts of felony murder as outlined in the state warrants that have been issued against you. I want to make you aware that the maximum penalty for felony murder, so for each count, the maximum penalty is that you could be punishable by death, by imprisonment for life, without parole, or by imprisonment for life, with the possibility of parole. If you have any questions about these charges, then I would urge you to discuss those with your attorney. I would invite you, Mr. Harmon, to inform the court as to whether there's a request for bond at this time.
At this time, Your Honor, there is not a request for bond. We will file the appropriate motions if that becomes necessary.
All right. An indictment by the grand jury for most felony offenses or accusations, well, you have the right to receive an indictment for these offenses. And I assume Mr. Brad Smith is here on behalf of the DA's office, or he is our district attorney, and he's accompanied by Ms. Patricia Brooks, who is his chief assistant. A preliminary hearing, you'll have the right also to a preliminary hearing, unless you make a bond, which of course at this point there's no bond being requested, or unless you waive such a hearing. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by a judge or a jury. You have the right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses. You have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf and testify in your own defense if you so choose. As you sit here in this courtroom today, under the law, you are presumed innocent. Your refusal to testify at any point in any proceeding will not be used against you in determining whether you are guilty or not guilty. Counsel, let me just inquire as to whether there are any other items that the court should address before we conclude this preliminary hearing.
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Well, I do have one piece of information to convey to the court. There was a development yesterday afternoon that makes it necessary for our office to have alternate counsel appointed, and arrangements have already been made in that regard. I've already explained that to Mr. Gray, and alternate counsel will be appointed by the end of the day today.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Donna C. Graves. All right, then with that, this hearing is concluded, and you may escort this defendant out. All right, with that, I understand that we have another appearance hearing. And at this hearing, I'm first going to ask you just a few questions, and then I'm going to advise you of your rights and also let you know about a preliminary hearing that's been scheduled for you. Why don't you just state your name, please? All right, pull the microphone down, please. There you go. All right, and how old are you, Mr. Gray?
54.
And are you able to read and write and understand the English language without any difficulty?
Yes, sir.
How far did you go in school?
11th grade GED.
Okay. And I note that you have counsel seated with you at the table. You understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney at all times for this and all future proceedings in your case?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that, of course, if you cannot afford an attorney, that the public defender will be appointed to the system is working. And all right, so the following aren't questions that I'm going to ask. I'm just informing you of some things. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you at further hearings or at a trial on the charges that you're facing. For this hearing, you're not going to be questioned about facts and circumstances surrounding your charges. You are currently charged with, and you'll be provided with copies of the warrants if you don't already have them. You're currently charged with 2 counts of felony murder in the second degree. You're charged with 4 counts of felony involuntary manslaughter. You're charged with 8 counts of felony cruelty to children in the second degree. Now, for these offenses, for the felony murder counts in the second degree, felony murder in the second degree, the maximum penalty for each count is up to 30 years imprisonment. For felony involuntary manslaughter, of course, again, there are 4 counts. The maximum penalty for each of those offenses is 10 years imprisonment. For the 8 felony cruelty to children counts, the maximum penalty under the law for each of those 8 counts is 10 years imprisonment, for a maximum total possible penalty for the charges that you currently are facing of 180 years imprisonment. If you have questions about these charges, which I assume that you will, the court urges you to discuss those with your attorney. Let me inquire as to whether there's a motion for bond if Mr. Gray is moving for bond at this time.
No, sir, not at this time. We will allow alternate counsel to make that decision.
All right, thank you. All right, I also need to inform you that you have the right to an indictment by a grand jury, and you also have the right to a preliminary hearing unless you make bond or waive such a hearing. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by a judge or jury. You have the right to confront and cross-examine all witnesses. You have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf and testify in your own defense if you so choose. I want to make it clear to you, Mr. Gray, that you are presumed innocent. Your refusal to testify at any point cannot be used against you in determining whether you are guilty or not guilty. I mentioned the first appearance hearing a moment ago. That is being set for you for December 4th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. Currently that's set to take place in the Magistrate Court of Barrow County. It could be subject to change, but I just want you to know that that is the date that we currently have. In fact, counsel, could you approach, please? I have this, let's see, I need to scratch this out. This document that discusses bond and gives the date of the preliminary hearing, and I guess I could sign that, and then he can just get a copy of it. And then the warrants are attached to that. So I would like for him to sign it. Turn it over, please.
Sign right there, just so you're getting a copy of this. He is giving you a copy. He'll give you a copy of all the warrants.
Do you want me to go ahead and give him his copy?
Yes, please.
And the page continues.
And are these his copies of the warrants?
Those are provided, and they say service copies on them, so I assume that they're for him. Sergeant Briscoe, do you concur with that? Is that what those copies are for?
That's the detention center.
Those are for the detention center? So he's got his own copies, or he'll have them provided? All right, so the detention center wants to hold on to those. All right, let me, and thank you, Ms. Seagraves. I want to certainly acknowledge the presence of our district attorney, Mr. Brad Smith. He's assisted by his chief assistant, Patricia Brooks. Is there anything else, counsel, that the court needs to address that I have neglected to address?
No, Your Honor.
No, sir, not at this time.
All right. I do want to thank those who are in the gallery who have an interest and who have appeared. I appreciate the decorum that has been maintained throughout this proceeding, or both of these proceedings today. And with that, this matter is adjourned.
The attorney who's going to represent you, I think his name is James Rogers. We're going to make that official later.
That's awesome. Thank you, Fozzie, for letting me know it was muted. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and start over there. Lisa, you'd brought up this point right here, and it makes complete sense that you would ask that question. I greatly appreciate you asking that question. But in the U.S., every time I talk to anyone in different places, everyone I talk to, everyone's got their own opinions on it. When I was a kid, my parents, there were always guns around. I remember going to high school and middle school. I'm 45, so I'm not that old. But I remember going to middle school and high school, and there's guns in the pickup trucks, and nobody was there. There wasn't any of these school shootings. Something else is broken. Something else is broken in these people. The Crumbly kid, the Parkland shooting, the Covenant School shooting. All these people, we knew there was something wrong with them. And the comment there, what would make you think to buy your kid a pew pew? I completely get that comment, and I respect that comment. But I have to be the first one to say we've always had plenty of guns. We've always been able to respect them. We've always been able to function with them. Learning how to do it safely is a different world, and understanding when you've got a kid that's a problem, you need to be paying attention to your kid. Yeah, I say that Kimby, it's not the pew pews. No, it's an odd world. Matthew saying he got his son a Glock 19 for his 21st birthday. I think my son had a Glock 19 when he was 11 and 12 years old. But doing it responsibly is a whole different world. If I saw an aggression issue or if I saw anything, it was controlled. Seeing Nano, AC, I'm old enough to be Tote Mama. I'm assuming you're saying your mama. But yeah, it was all about being respectful of it. When I was a kid, if you did something silly, your family would well, I don't want to get into a gun debate. There's no reason that this guy, this father is in court for a reason. He deserves to go to prison for what he did. His is a completely different circumstance. I think a lot of this stuff gets put into the same one, and there's no excuse for what he did. And Steve, you're right there. It's not automatic. I don't know that having that debate here is going to solve it, but there's no one walking into a store and walking out with an automatic weapon. You got to jump through a bunch of hoops for that, and you've got to do it the right way to get an automatic weapon. In any case, 4 people have lost their lives. A father was irresponsible. A son was broken. And so we're going to jump on to Judge Middleton, but this one's not going to go away anytime soon.
We have 3 files to address this morning regarding Elizabeth May Conway. File number 24847 alleges on or about March 12th that you stole property that belonged to Walmart worth more than $200. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. And the allegation was that you took merchandise, is the right case, and put it in your cart. There's video of it. The next case is 24843SM, another retail fraud at Walmart. They allege that you stole $284 worth of property and took it from the store. They charged that as also retail fraud in the 2nd degree, which is punishable by up to a year in jail. The 3rd count is March 18th. They allege you were at the Walmart store and that you stole, I think, a mattress that was worth more than $200. And that's also charged as a retail fraud in the third degree. That's also on video. You had missed some court dates. There was a bench warrant for your arrest. You got arrested in August, and I had you placed in custody and set the matter for pretrials today on all 3 cases. I understand there's some other things going on here. First of all, Mr. Truckee, was there a plea offer in this case?
There was an offer to 2 counts of second-degree retail fraud or 1 count of first degree.
Which would be a felony.
Correct.
Plea offer, 2 counts, retail fraud, second, which would be concurrent. Or 1 count of retail fraud first, felony. All right, Ms. Conway, I understand that you're not happy with Mr. Truckee as your attorney.
Not necessarily, because I gave him documents when you sent him to the jail. I was in the hospital in the second and the middle of the month.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I gave him documents when he sent him over to the jail, because I was in the hospital in the second and in the middle of the month of August. So I wouldn't have failed to appear otherwise.
All right.
So,
but
his job was for you to do an emergency PR bond.
Yes.
He didn't do none of it. I said in the
Well,
jail, getting.
he
like,
could
all stuff
have
happened in the jail.
jumped up and down and screamed and yelled and pleaded on his knees for a PR bond, and I wouldn't have given you one. You have a history of not showing up. You got multiple addresses, a Sturgis address. I don't even know where you are. So I wasn't going to give you a PR bond. You have $1,204 of unpaid other fines and costs, including an open a drinking driving case, another retail fraud, 2 disturbing the pieces, and allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. You are a mess. And I'm watching you disintegrate before my eyes. I first met you in 2022 or so. And when you came here from the east side. And
I grew up here actually with my mom, the Bingaman family. That's my mom.
All right, I guess you told me that before,
Yes,
but
I was raised in a split family, Conway Bingamans. So, yes, I've been growing up on each side,
all right.
Constantine and the east side. So, but I don't appreciate insult because that's the first time I met you was in 2022. Remember I had a baby?
Yes.
Yes, I was 6 months.
Well, I'm not trying to be
Same
unkind.
kind of circumstances going on right now, except for your jail staff. I just had to write a statement to the police on.
All right, but
Okay.
you
And I'm
are,
also a victim of this county right now. The state trooper Bowers on.
well, you are killing yourself.
No, they're trying to,
Well,
not
all
me counting.
right, well, let's back up to these 3 retail fraud charges. They've offered to dismiss 1 of them if you plead to 2 of them. You've got 28 days in jail. You've got previous fines and costs that you don't have the ability to pay on. I don't know where your address is. All 3 of these things are on video. They recognize you every time you come in the store. On 1 of them, you allegedly stole a mattress and they found the mattress. So it's not Mr. Truckee's fault that you couldn't get out on a PR bond. That was on me. You're entitled to a PR bond in a misdemeanor case after 28 days. You've been in jail for 28 days. So here's where we are. The irony of this, if you plead not guilty, I have no choice but to let you out of jail. I'm afraid, A, that you'll go into the wind again, and B, that you'll get in more trouble. But if you plead guilty to these charges, I'm going to set everything for sentencing and try to take care of your other cases. What would you like to do here today?
I'd like to get out of jail.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Where will you go?
ride to a hotel room likely.
Well, why did you tell the police you lived in Goodrich or you lived in
I never told
Pontiac?
them I lived in Goodrich. They don't know, I don't know what they're talking about. I lived in Goodrich like 5 years ago. Like 6 years, when they were delivering me a subpoena for a Jacob Roger Turner. They wanted to know where I lived. I lived out in Goodrich then. That was a long time ago. My daughter is almost 2 now. That was a long time ago. I haven't lived in Goodrich in a long time. That's when I moved out of White Pigeon. Remember when I lived in White Pigeon? And
Yes.
I got a disturbing the peace charge and I missed court for that, so I was pled guilty, got out on a PR or no, whatever it was.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you went out of jail, and I guess I don't have any choice in the matter. But I'm not gonna let you fire your lawyer, because it's not his fault. He's here to represent you on all of these. Now, what the prosecutor may do, I'm not sure, is turn these into a felony. But right now they're misdemeanors and there's a misdemeanor offer. As I said, you're on video in each case, according to the affidavits of probable cause. So at this point, you wish to continue your plea of not guilty?
yeah.
All right. I do not release Attorney Truckee. He's doing fine here. I have to set a PR bond in each case, whether I like it or not. Actually, I could, for good cause shown, leave you in custody, which would be all these other unpaid fines and costs. But, and even the fact that you habitually don't show up when you're supposed to. There is a escape valve on the 28-day bond rule if the judge finds good cause to leave the bond.
I know when I get out today, I got money I could pay and come right before.
Well, I don't want you to do any of that yet. I want you to hold on to your money. I want you to find a place to live.
Right.
But let me just be frank, there is jail in your future. You've got 3 of these retail fraud charges. They're trying, if you want a trial on each one of them, I guess you can have a trial on each one of them. They're each punishable by up to a year in jail. If you do that, the prosecutor's probably going to turn it into a felony. If we're going to try these, we might as well try just one. But at this point, we'll set a last pretrial and maybe we can resolve it at that time. What I would really like to do is when I do a sentence, resolve all this other stuff. The drinking driving case, allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code, those 2 disturbing the pieces that I let you out of jail, the disorderly person I let you out of jail, the retail fraud from earlier this year, $270. You don't have any money.
Yeah, I paid for I bond out in June. In June, I got a bondsmith, so I paid the guy back for the bondsmith.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you out of jail on all 3 cases and set these for a last pretrial.
Okay.
My prediction is something else is gonna go haywire before I see you next time, but I'm hopeful that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because right now, you don't even know where you're going. A hotel, that's not a good option.
Working on right now with county is.
But the law says on a misdemeanor case, unless your case is resolved, you have a right to have a PR bond after 28 days, whether I like it or not. So you got a $200 PR bond in each case. You're barred from Walmart. If you go back in the Walmart store, 3 Rivers or Sturgis, I'll put you back in jail with no bond.
I don't go over there anyways, but it's still an illegal trespass, so you're charged with it. If I want to be specifically honest, but I don't go back there just because I was disturbed trespass.
Well, it's a condition of your bond.
When they did meet me in person, it was due to a welfare check on me.
Well, you
My cousin
probably could
Christopher
use a
works there.
welfare check.
I thought Christopher Bingham worked at Walmart. So I'm assuming that I was doing weird stuff in my ear because I got a closed injury.
Yes, I'm concerned about
Okay, yeah, I
you.
understand that. I'm not going. Yeah, you're good.
Will
I haven't been
you-
back anyway.
Will you get reconnected with Pivotal when you get out?
I don't know what Pivotal is.
It's community mental health.
I've never been there out here in the
I thought-
county. The only
Yeah,
time I
it's-
went there was like 8, 10 years ago. They gave me Adderall a long time ago and that was it. I don't go to mental health.
Have you talked to
I
Lisa?
I got a neurologist. Lisa only talked to just in case I needed to go to a domestic violence shelter or sexual assault center. That's the only lady I only talked to her briefly for that, but I know a number to call if I need it. Cause I know when I tried to Purple House a couple times in Rivers and ignored me, so I was like, I'm about to take these people's jobs out of me. I just, I was like, yeah.
Elizabeth, I'm very concerned about you. I know that you're drug-free because I've had you in jail for 28 days.
Well, you already
but-
know that anyways, remember when you apologized to me and I pled guilty a couple of years ago? Cause you thought I was on meth or something when I was on dextroamphetamine, which is Adderall.
Well, you were on other
But it wasn't on
amphetamines,
anything. No, I wasn't.
but I'm just concerned about how your demeanor is right now.
Yeah, I feel good. I've been getting in there. That's why I was like, not happy with the way the people were treating me in there. In the jail staff and stuff, because you're not supposed to do stuff like that to pregnant people, I don't think.
All right, I don't have to like this, and I don't, but you're gonna get out on a PR bond. They're gonna take you back to jail, probably give you lunch, and you're gonna be standing on the front steps of the jail.
That's all right. I'll call my mom's cousin, other cousin lives in Centerville. Do you know what Todd Baum is?
It's a PR bond.
Yeah, no, I said Todd Baum and I live in Centerville. I think I could call, have my mom call them to give me a ride if I need it.
All right. I will
So it's
see
the
you
same
on, I
person.
want you to stay in contact with your lawyer, so he knows how to get a hold of you. We're gonna end up with more
No,
bench
yeah, the
warrants.
phone, right. The other phone got stolen.
Okay, so we turn on the microphone before we turn on the camera, so that's how that works. So this lady here bothers me more than Mr. Frasier and Judge Fleischer's court. I think she bothers me more because she's so comfortable there. At least the guy in Judge Fleischer's court was fighting mad to get out. I think the guy in Judge Fleischer's court is more related to the 14-year-old with the shooting at the school. You know, you blame the world for everything. This lady she just rides it. She just thinks that the world's the way it is, and she's perfectly fine with that. But this lady here is she's just gonna continue living this way. Luckily enough, that kid's off the streets. I hate what happened to get him off the street, but this lady here being as comfortable as she is, there's no way that she's gonna change. She feels that she can live her life like this, and I've known people like this that are they're completely happy with it. I think the guy in Judge Fleischer's court, I don't know the solution, but they need a babysitter for the next 5 years, someone to just hold their hand and to beat them every time they act up. And that's not nice to say, but in the end, it's not nice to let someone go down those paths and live that way. You know, we love to think what would help other people, but I know whenever I was a kid, there's no way I could have talked to my parents like that guy would talk to Judge Fleischer. My parents would have beat me with anything they had available. And I'm not accusing them of abuse. I think them making sure I didn't step out of line, helped me longer in life. So we're just gonna roll with that. Say like Yoga Pants, you're right. Some people just don't have the hope of anything better anymore. She's completely happy with it. I'm over here reeling that in 2022 she had a baby. That means that little baby is 2 years old. There's no way in the world she even knows where that kid is right now. That kid's being raised by somebody who's trying to take care of that kid. That kid's. I'm not going to be dumb and say that the kid was born on drugs, but we can put 2 + 2 together. So that kid's going to have challenges. The kid's still got a chance, but it's going to be a hell of a lot more of a challenge than if the mom would have done the right things. And so that rural Oregon is very rural. I think I had a conversation with Lisa B about rural Oregon, and it's some of the most beautiful country in the world, but you can damn sure die out there. It's rural enough. Kimby, talking about your son being an alcoholic. No, but like you said before, Kimby, and I'm right there with you. I've got a kid's in trouble too. You can't love them enough for them to be sober. They've got to figure it out. They've got to make that step, because you can close in on all you want to, but until they change, it's not going to change anything. All right, Vicky's over there too. Got a lot of Oregon people. Y'all are on the early shift. It's only 5:30 over there, so y'all still have daylight. It's been dark over here for a couple hours. All right, well, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much. Linus told me that I had to say see y'all tomorrow night. That way it forces me to be back on tomorrow night. So we'll see y'all tomorrow night.